What's good, my zesty lemons? It is Eileen, and thank you so much for stopping by Zesty Tarot. Today's reading is going to be about Park Jimin. I debated on whether or not I wanted to do this because, you know, I'm in my head a lot. But ever since the album Face came out, I just had this urge to see how he's doing. I want to know if he's really free from everything that was paining him. And I understand that the pandemic definitely caused a lot of disruption, not just in him. Disruption, did I say that right? Anyways, basically a lot of discord within ourselves and our significant others, our family. It definitely had you see things from everyone's perspectives. You were able to see things for what they were. A lot of the times I also believe that when you were stuck with yourself, because again, with the pandemic going on, we couldn't go anywhere. So for those that are home alone, sitting at home with yourself, you're faced with a lot of situations that you try to sweep under the rug, or you would use other activities to sweep it back. But now here it is, this gigantic elephant in the room looking at you. And I believe that is what Jimin was going through. Amongst other things, of course. So I don't want to get into all of that, but I want to do, I guess you could call this a wellness check. I want to see how he's doing. And if he needs some encouragement from the universe, what messages does the universe have to say to him? Will he ever see this reading? Probably not. But it's still beautiful to put it out there, to know that he has a support group. Because I know that whoever is watching this, either you're a fan of him, or you're an enemy of him, or you just don't know who he is. Either way it goes, you're watching this video. Even for a second, you're trying to see what's going on. But for those that don't know, he is a member of BTS, one of my favorite groups. I think my all-time favorite group, to be honest. They helped me during the pandemic. They helped me go through some very tough times in my life. And their music is amazing. So we're not gonna get into all of that about me, because this is about Jimin. So let's get into it. Sweet universe, how should I ask this? I'm taking a few deep breaths so that I can figure out how to. Okay. I'm going to treat this as though he's watching this video. Jimin, if you ever watch this video, hello. Annyeonghaseyo. And I hope you are well. I hope everyone else is well and doing good. My question is, what does Park Jimin need to know? What's going on in his life right now that he may need some encouragement on? How is he doing overall? What, you know, overall, what does Jimin need to know right now? How are you doing mentally, Jimin? Are you free? Are you truly free, like you desire to be? Okay. 2 more times. One more time. All right, so we're going to cut the deck. Can y'all see? I don't know if it's angled correctly or not. I don't have that overview, or that, you know, the overview, or the, you know, how they have the camera facing downwards so that you can see what's going on. I don't even know how they do that, but all right. All right, Jimin, you're most likely, I don't know, I think you're in a different time zone right now, so I don't know if you're sleeping or not. So I'll just rely on my instincts. Right here. I just want to make sure though. Yes. So the first card we have, address your addictions. Now, for those that are familiar with the album Face, we noticed that alcohol was prevalent in his songs. This is his, I'm assuming, his go-to when it comes to handling his troubles. But I'm not going to just put it all right there. I'm also going to say that his addiction for, and for those that haven't heard me speak before, or you know, you don't know my mannerisms, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not trying to attack in any type of way, because I know that Army don't play, okay? I'm Army as well. So you try to bite me, I'm gonna bite you back, okay? But I think that okay, put it this way, so that I can include all of us in this, okay? We all have addictions of some sort. Whether it is an eating addiction, or we have an addiction to social media, or we have an addiction to spending money, or we have an addiction to attention. You know what I mean? Anything that is overused, or what's the word, that is used excessively, can become an addiction. So this could very well talk about a lot of things. But the first thing that came to my mind was the use of alcohol. We all have something that we go to whenever we need to cope. For some, it's alcohol. Some, it's sex. Some, it's shopping. Some, it's food. Some, it's talking to friends. Some, it's crying. You know, there's so many things that a person can use as a way to cope with what's going on. But we're going to continue with these cards to see exactly what's going on. But overall, it's saying that Jimin needs to address certain addictions that's going on right now. Refine your attention. So I feel what this is saying is to stop focusing on less relevant situations and start focusing on more meaningful situations. And what I mean by that is if he is obsessed, for example, because there is a lot of negative energy on social media, right? And if he's constantly going through excuse me, let me get it together here, magazine articles, or he's going through forums and he's internalizing what these children, I'm going to call it out for what it is, these children are saying about him, that could have a heavy effect on someone. And not just Jimin, but other celebrities as well. No one knows the pressures that these musicians, these artists, these human beings have to go through on a regular basis. The only thing that they see is what they see on television, what they hear on the radio, what they stream. But at the end of the day, nobody knows what the hell is going on once those cameras are off. But you have a lot of individuals that believe that they have everything figured out about someone else's life. This tells you that the ones that are spewing hate, they don't have a life of their own. They have some healing that they need to do. Because if your life was so great to try to judge somebody else's, you wouldn't be bothered about what was going on with Jimin or Taeyong or any of them. You wouldn't care. Because your life would be too wonderful to care. Or if anything, if you did care, then you would exercise some type of compassion rather than judgment. Don't get me started. But anyways, if this is what he is doing, then I believe that he needs to really lay off of social media. And honestly, and I think that's why he is, if he is, I'm assuming that he is, that's why he's so busy. He has to be busy because the negative energy is busy. It reminds me of the video Set Me Free, as a matter of fact. When he says, "Look at me now," and he's, well, the first part of it, when he says, "Look at me now," and they immediately point at him. And I took that as he's asking you in a passive way, hey, acknowledge me. But you have your naysayers and your ops pointing at him like, okay, what about you? I'm judging you. So then when he does his own thing and he is tired of all the toxicity and he's growing into his own person, he stands up to them and he says with much confidence, "Look at me now." And you can hear the choir behind him. And then the ops or the haters or whomever have to match his ego, or not his ego, but his strength. Hence the girl being on the other dancer's shoulders to point at him, to make him feel small. Like, oh, okay, so you want to try to think that you're going to be bigger and better than me? Well, let me climb on somebody else to still judge you. You still ain't this and this and this and this and this. But I love the way he looked at them on that second part of "Look at me now." He looked at both of them. Even though he kind of felt a little hesitant, but he was like, bring it on, And I feel like that's what he has to focus on. So, Jimin, I believe that you need to continue to focus on your strength. Don't worry about these naysayers, because they're going to talk about everybody. You know what? If they had the opportunity, they would talk about themselves, and I'm pretty sure they do. To take the time to focus on somebody else's flaws, I can only imagine what you do to yourself. Not you, Jimin. I'm talking about the people. Speak up. So when I see speak up, I think it's time for you to address what is bothering you. If your label does not find it, because I can imagine a lot of what an artist would love to say to these individuals that are just so hateful and mean. JK don't have no problem telling you what's up. You got people over here sending food. Why would he want, let me focus. Let me focus. But like I said, you have a lot of hateful individuals out there. And instead of internalizing it, Jimin, I believe that it is best for you to speak up about that. Talk to your label about it. Tell them exactly how you feel. Tell them what you want done. If you are reading an article and you see that someone has something negative to say about you, tell your label about it. Or speak up yourself and say, hey, I don't appreciate this and this and this. You don't know me. Whatever you have to do. And that same energy goes for all of you that are dealing with someone always trying to bully you. It is true. It has nothing to do with you. It has a lot to do with the person that is insecure, that feels the need to treat you like crap because they are projecting how they feel about themselves, or it is a learned pattern because they are being bullied. And they see you as the weakest link, so they're going to take their frustrations out on you because of what they got going on at home, or what they're dealing with in their relationships, or with their job, or whatever. So he definitely needs to continue to speak up about things that are bothering him. And honestly, I think that Face was immaculate. Face, to me, and I'm sure a lot of you, was definitely a breakthrough for him. But not just him, but a lot of us that felt caged in our own emotions, that did not believe that we were good enough, did not know how to handle the fear of rejection or loneliness, anything. He laid that out perfectly. And I think that he needs to continue to write more. So Jimin, I know you have a lot of song concepts. I can feel that. You have a lot of concepts that you have thought about, but yet you hide away from. You thought about it, but you're like, no. That's that imposter syndrome. Not saying that you are an imposter, but that's because you are afraid that you're not good enough. And Jimin, you have proven to us time and time again that you are a talented, brilliant artist. You really are. Bottom of the deck is do things in moderation. So, to me, I feel like this is saying, don't feel rushed. I know there are a couple times that Jimin has made comments about how he wished that he had enough time. Excuse me. He wished that he had enough time to spend time to do this and that, this and that. I relate to that too, and I feel like us followers of Jimin relates to this as well. You have so many obligations that it feels as though you just don't have time to be. I'm actually reading a book called It's About Time, and she teaches us about time poverty and teaches us how to separate what our mind perceives as meaningful situations from actual meaningful situations. For example, if you are constantly in the office and a family member has, surgery of some sort, and unfortunately something happens and you chose your job over that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to deal, not saying that you wouldn't care about the family member, but because you are programmed that your job is the most meaningful thing in the world, like you can't miss a beat. That you automatically will put yourself and your family second or last. So you don't want to have regrets, is what I'm saying. So enjoy your life. And I feel that part of this, I know a part of it is the label wanting to make as much money as they can while the members are away for military. But I also feel that part of this is Jimin wanting to remain relevant at all times. And he will always be relevant. He has to remember that those that genuinely care about him is going to value him whether he is in the spotlight or not. Not the ones that aren't making a conscious decision to see about him. Not those that think it's funny to hide behind accounts and make fun of his looks, or you just all that bitter and angry nonsense. Not those people. That's where I think that it says refine your attention, shift your focus. Focus on those that really care about you. Your family, your close friends. And if you do decide to look at social media, then focus only on the loving messages. Take something from those loving messages. It's so easy to get caught up in what somebody does not like about us because we want to be liked and loved so much. And I'm not trying to say that you're needy, but Jimmy, you're needy. You are. We all are. No one wants to hear anybody say anything negative about them, especially if they don't even know you. So I get that. It's like, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it at all. Love me or hate me, but either way it goes, you don't have to vocalize everything. Like, even those that proclaim this, what do they call them? Sasaeng energy, that parasocial type energy. I'm calling myself out here. No, I have some sense when it comes to my love for Jimin. He's just a brilliant individual. He definitely, and all the Jimin stans know that. Anyways, but let me get back on track. Long story short, just do things in moderation, and please make sure that you're taking time out for yourself. I know this right here, the reason why this is here is because you still battle with being by yourself. So are you set free? You're getting there. All right, so that was long. Let's go ahead and get into the actual reading part. right, sweet universe. Thank you so much for this message. I would like clarifiers, please. Why are these cards here? What other information can Jimin take from this reading? Give me some time here as I'm shuffling. All right, 2 more. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but the wind is roaring because I think someone left the back door open downstairs. All right. Right here. It's always the middle. Let me just make sure. I could definitely relate to him. We all can when it comes to wondering if we're doing a good job. I battle with it every single day. That's why I'm not consistent yet with my readings. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords here. And so I believe that this is talking about being studious. I want to say that this will definitely pertain to the naysayers being addicted to, these two to me go hand in hand. Being addicted to all of the negative stuff that's being said about him. And I only said it because you see the book here. But I also see that this could also pertain to being an overachiever, wanting to do it all, which kind of goes hand in hand with this right here. He's a hard worker. He's definitely a hard worker, and that's good. That's good that he is, but I don't want him to overexhaust himself. You don't want him to overexhaust himself. But when I see the light bulbs here, I see this as her ideas are guiding her, keeping her afloat. And she's tight-roping, you know, across this cliff, getting to the next phase of her life. So I feel like this is ultimately just talking about communication, learning how to vocalize and speak about what's going on with him rather than keeping silent, and also trying to find other avenues other than drinking. I could tell, or at least I felt, that Jimin was petrified of what we were going to say about him and the drinking. And not just the drinking, but just what he was feeling. He was afraid that we were going to just think he was the worst human being in the world. And that was not the case. Him opening up was a breath of fresh air for others like him that felt the same way he did. Just he handles it a different way. I have alcohol in my freezer right now that whenever I get overwhelmed, I will be quick to pop that bottle open. You hear me? It's just doing it, you know, I keep want to say it, obsessively, excessively. So I'm not trying to call him an alcoholic, but if that is a possibility, then that definitely needs to be talked about. But the Page of Swords is definitely a novice when it comes to learning different things. He's a student right now. So maybe he has some ideas as to how he wants to go about things. Does he want to venture off and be a solo artist and do his own thing from here on out? I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of Kai. Doing his own thing like Kai or whatever. Not trying to say that they're the same, but I know he has love for his 6 brothers. They have love for him. But I think that they all love the idea of not being meshed into this K-pop image. These are grown men and they want to be treated like such. And I feel like even though she's tightroping, I also feel like this is him tiptoeing. He has to tiptoe his way across things so he doesn't fall into the pit of cancellation. You know what I mean? Like, let me check my phone, sorry, to make sure that everything is good here. Okay. But, I'm pretty sure you saw him on there. But anyways, yeah, I feel like he tries to tiptoe around it, and it's like, no. It's time for you to come out of your shell. This is what you were talking about in the song Set Me Free. Telling them to fuck off. Get out of my way. Fuck all of y'all. I'm gonna do me, whether you like it or not. Okay, talking about, was it Face Off? When he was talking about your masquerade party and I was drunk. Like, I'm showing you how I am, who I really am, but you are walking around with a mask. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how it is, if I'm interpreting that right. And yes, that's scary and fearful. But this is me. This is the ugly side of me. This is the shadow side of Jimin. He's not always flirty and bubbly like you think that I am. Sometimes y'all get on my damn nerves. He just can't vocalize that. Sometimes the labels probably get on his nerves. People always asking for a handout is probably getting on his nerves all the time. No matter how compassionate he is still a human being, and he does not like to be treated like a bank account. He doesn't like to be bullied. No one does. So I feel like this could be talking about a lot of things. So going back again, this could be him thirsting for knowledge as far as wanting to collab with other people, learning the concepts of writing, songwriting. This could be, I think I already said collaborations, wanting to vocalize, or tiptoeing around truths that he needs to address. Yeah, he just, or being an overachiever. That was another thing I said. So next card, we have the Queen of Pentacles here. Refine your attention. So with the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like because he is a, how do you say it, humanitarian, you know, he loves children. And he does so much with the charities that he has. Continue to do that. I think that's what really brings him joy. funding schools to allow them to continue to thrive in their passions, visiting orphans, funding orphanages, helping the poor, helping anybody. Jimin is really a beautiful human being. And I honestly don't think that he's from this world. I think he's a starseed. And I think the hardest thing for him to understand is, why don't people understand him? Why does he feel like the odd man out when really he's not the problem. It's just that people don't understand the type of love that he provides. When he loves hard. I mean hard, to the point to where, like I said earlier, he's clingy. But that's because that's his love language. When he tells you he loves you and he wants to show you affection, you're gonna get it. You are gonna get it. Just like the opposite. If he can't stand you or he's upset, you gonna get that too. You know? But anyways, I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is saying that he definitely needs to invest more time in himself. Take time taking care of himself. And naturally caring for others. Like I said, with the charities and fundings. Do what makes him happy. But leave all the negative nonsense alone. I know it's hard, but if you gotta completely take yourself off of social media, that's what I would do. Because you gotta take care of you, okay? Look at how she's looking. She's like, I ain't got time for that nonsense. And that's exactly how you should be, Jimin. Okay, so speak up. So we have the Tower card here. So I don't know if this is a situation that is going to happen, or if this was something that happened, or maybe this is him talking about his traumas, because the Tower card can talk about a disruptive revelation, which, talking about the pandemic, that was definitely a disruptive situation that did not just only affect him, but it affected everyone globally. So that could be talking about the past with that, or this could talk about something else that is bothering him that he may be creating songs about. And I believe that the hateful comments and the things that people are saying about him is definitely going to be on that list of songs. I guarantee that. But I believe that him speaking about his traumas in a way where he's not too revealing, but enough to kind of give you an understanding of the pain that he's experiencing, that is going to be very therapeutic for him. Jimin is a teacher. That's what I believe. He is a teacher. And he's also empathic and being emotionally open, spiritually open like that. It's trust. I know how that feeling is. So bottom of the deck, we have the Fool card here. And the Fool card basically talks about new beginnings and taking risks. So you see that she's holding on to this amethyst, and amethyst usually represents clarification, wisdom. And you see also that she's holding on to this branch to ensure that the breeze or that little gust of wind is not going to blow her off the edge. So there are going to be some new beginnings that's happening for him. Even if he doesn't believe so. But I kind of think that we might end up getting another album from him. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me do another clarifier here. I'm going to use my kitty cat tarot. Oh, never mind. Something told me not to do those, use those cards. So let me use these. All right. Give me a moment. All right. Please keep in mind that this may not be as accurate. That's just my fear talking. I'm not trying to pry. I just, like I said, that album, it really, I was listening to it today, and I always have the song Alone on repeat. Alone and Set Me Free, I would have to say, are my two favorites out of the album. I love the entire album, don't get me wrong, but those two hit home for me. And I'm gonna have to throw all of it and just put them all in there, but I mostly listen to Alone and Set Me Free Part 2, and then sometimes I will listen to Face Off. Sometimes I'll continue to listen to Dive. The visionary that he created for us was something else. He was really going through it. All right, sweet universe, can I have a clarification here for Jimin? Time. All right. I wish they would change that smoke detector outside, the batteries. Driving me nuts. I think I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm like, yo, can y'all please get that alarm? I'm tired of it beeping. It's been beeping for a month and a half now. Very strong right there. So the middle is where it's at, apparently. Okay, so the first card out, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so with this, the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like this is talking about gaining wealth. Excuse me, trying to get comfortable here in this chair. So he might be investing in, excuse me if you heard my stomach growling. What am I trying to say? Give me a moment here. He has a lot that he's investing in at this time. I see the fruits of his labors, basically. This is security, which goes hand in hand with the Queen of Pentacles here. This is also enjoying life being single or by himself. You don't have to be with somebody. If this is the case, you don't have to be with somebody to find happiness. A lot of the times you can find happiness within your own, because you don't have to worry about somebody else's selfish endeavors that can block you from experiencing that moment of agape love, universal love. I feel that he's a little too giving. He can't help it. He doesn't like to see people suffer. So I think it's hard for him to say no. I definitely think it's important for him to set boundaries, because I feel like he is easily taken advantage of. And I don't want that to turn him into a miser because he lacks trust, because too many people, take advantage. I get that, because when you get hurt by the same type of people, it hardens you. But you have to take responsibility that you allow that to happen as well. So we have the Eight of Cups here. So this is walking away from things that no longer serve you emotionally. Okay, so that's part of the self-care here. Refine your attention. So if it's negative Nancy's talking smack about how you're not good enough and this and this and this, you don't have to pay attention to none of that. You don't. Self-care over everything. Okay? Walk away from that negative energy. You don't owe anybody anything, and I think that's what he needs to hear. Jimin, you do not owe anybody anything. And if it doesn't feel good to you, it's got to go. Plain and simple. Walk away. So we have the Six of Pentacles. This is give and take energy, and we have speak up, we have the Tower, and we have this right here. So I don't know if this is a possibility, but if this is pertaining to the record label, maybe he feels as though him and the members are being shafted in some type of way. There is a possibility of that. But I also see that there is a give and take. There's back and forth energy of giving and receiving. So, like I said, there's a possibility that there may be a surprise album coming out from him. He wants to put out something else before he goes into the service. It's a possibility of that. So either A, we're going to find out, or there's going to be something about Hybe doing something shady that's going to affect him and the members, or we're going to be shocked to find out that he has another album coming out. And there might be a possible tour, because I think that'd be beautiful if it does happen that way. Because then, I would love to go. I would love to go. Let me stop fangirling. All right, look at that. We have the Queen of Pentacles again. Yeah, securing that bag and taking care of yourself. Everything else in the end, it does not matter. Do what you love, Jimin. Do what you love. Do not become a slave to bullying. Do not be enticed and obsessed with negative energy. It's two sides to every coin. You're always going to have heads, and you're also going to have tails, okay? And if people want to show their tails, That's on them. That's on them. That has nothing to do with you. Okay? So, yeah, I see that overall, honestly, I feel like this is a business venture mixed with a little bit of some stuff that I see going on here. So I kind of have a feeling that we might get another album from him. So he's still learning the ropes. He's still navigating the way that he needs to, which is completely understandable. Just as long as he does things in moderation and understands that regardless of how busy your schedule is, there will be a time to relax. And when that time happens, please use full advantage. Take full advantage of it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? So let's go ahead and close this reading with a few oracles. That would be really exciting if that was the case. I also see the Six of Pentacles as investing energy in those that give him the same energy instead of investing energy towards those that are always nitpicking. Have a perfect balance. Because I'm going to show you, like, if I can grab it. So when it comes to investing time in matching the energy, we could say that this person right here is a naysayer. But you see how they're looking up at them. You know, like, oh, what about me? I see that you're gifting this person that says all these lovely things about you. Well, I want to get in too, even though I have negative intentions towards you and I'm going to talk smack about you. He's going to know. He's not, you know, he already knows. He sees it for what it is, and that's why he's keeping it a balance. Like, look, you are on this side, they're right here. I don't have time for that. And that's good on him. And anybody for that matter. Anybody that's going through that, it's time for you to stand up for yourself and not let anybody make you feel small. It's time for us all to step into our power. We deserve great things. We don't deserve to be miserable because someone else is, you know, miserable themselves, right? 2 more times, please. Back so that I won't be getting all confused. I already got enough as it is over here. That darn middle. Actually, no, it's different this time around. Hold on. Yeah, it was very strong right there. Oh goodness, it's hard to tell. Give me a second. Yeah, definitely right here. Okay. Be a comfort to yourself. See, that falls in line with this. Be comfortable with yourself. Comfort is an inside job. Speak to yourself in a loving, positive way. Do something that nourishes you and know in this moment all is well. Jimin does have an issue. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say issue. He has a bad habit like all of us. We are our own worst critic, and that's because he's a perfectionist. So we feel like we could be a little bit better even though we're doing amazing things, because we try to compare ourselves to someone else. And sometimes you may not need to be comparing yourself to anybody. Maybe those people that you're looking at as your savior probably needs to learn some things off of you. You know what I mean? But above all, if you're going through some things, try to, you know what I do? I talk to myself. Because sometimes your higher self will give you the best advice. Sometimes you don't need to talk to somebody else. You just need to sit down and allow yourself to be open to allowing the universe to talk to you or your higher self. So that's a suggestion, Jimin. Okay, so visualize a shield of protection is the name, or the second one, excuse me. And it says, to protect yourself from toxic people or situations, imagine a shield of white light surrounding your body. This keeps negativity out and lets positive in. See, I had a feeling that it was talking about the naysayers, walking away from them. You don't owe anybody an explanation whatsoever. And I did a reading, I think maybe a year and a half ago, maybe, about what BTS wants ARMY to know. And they are and I think RM has even made mention that the fandom has changed. There are a lot of hypocrites in the fandom. And they know that they are. They speak love and security to the members, but when it comes to each other, you're vicious. You're very vicious. And they can see that. And sometimes that spills over and you do it to the members. And at the end of the day, while you are a powerful source, you need to tone it down. You really do. Because I have a feeling that if it's not knocked off, communication is going to be at a bare minimum. They're trying so hard to love their fandom, but some of y'all are making it very hard. I'm gonna put that out there. Center yourself is the next one. And it says, take a few deep breaths to regain your center. And now you can approach life from a more mindful place. That comes from the speaking up. When he starts to tell people how they make him feel and be honest about it and don't hold back, people are they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it. Because those that are used to those yes men, or no, that's the other way around. Basically, he demands something and they say yes. It's the other way. They expect for him to say yes to everything that they want. But oh, if he says no, as a matter of fact, I think that was something that I saw. Yep, look at that. Right there. Say no. It is okay to say no. They will flip out. What do you mean no? What do you mean Anya? Or Ani, one of the two. I said's what I said. No. Then they'll see that you're meaning business. And this goes for anybody. But yeah, when you see that people are trying to test you, just speak up about it. Say what you have to say and let it go. And center yourself. You got a temper. We all know that you got a temper. So, just don't say anything that, Well, actually, you know what? I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm like, look, I'd pop off. I would pop off. I don't care. All right, so the next one is energize yourself with earthing or namjuning. And so it says to walk barefoot or stretch out on the grass, place your hands in the soil or hold a stone. Let earth restore your strength and ground you. I'm also going to look at the top two. Honor your inner child. Now this is interesting because the song Alone, when he was telling himself, excuse me, well, you know, he was like, Mayday, get me out. It's gonna be all right. Make it right. It's gonna be all right. And then you hear the kids lie, 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 lie. I think that was his inner child saying, you know that it's not gonna be better. So please listen to your inner child. And it says to focus on your inner child's needs. Is your inner child afraid or in need of more playtime? See, do things in moderation here. Cherish this precious being within you. Little Jimin needs you, Jimin. So I feel like there's definitely some things that is going on that needs to be addressed, but that's not my place to address those. But I believe that you are going to do so. And I just want you to know that whatever truth you share with us, it's going to fall into the correct hands. And we're going to uplift you and we're going to love you regardless. Don't worry about your naysayers. Your naysayers are separate from you for a reason. Because if they truly were your supporters, they'd be right there by your side through thick and thin, but they're not, right? So don't even worry about them. If you have to take the time to walk over to them, to give them any type of reverence, they weren't there in your, you know, they weren't meant to be in your circle anyways. So, okay. And then I'm going to pull one self-care card. And then I'm going to wrap up this reading. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Even though I was directly speaking as though Jimin was watching this video. You never know what will happen, but also take from it what you will if this applies to your life too in some form or fashion. All right, sweet universe. What form of self-care would be the best course of action to take for Jimin? Okay. 2 more times. One more time. All right, put this up. Always the middle. All right. Clear your energy field. So I believe, I mean, that speaks for itself. There is some negative energy around him, and he needs to just clear his space. be still. And I'm not saying like don't move. I think that what this is saying is be still in yourself when you feel that you should internalize some of the negative energy. No, you stay put, you stay grounded. Okay? You do not everything needs a reaction, basically, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Don't react to this type of energy. It's beneath you. Intuition. This aligns. Speak up. And that Tower card could also represent a revelation of some sort. Okay? But with the center yourself, this is you utilizing your intuition more. I think that you are very in tune with your intuition. Sometimes you get a little scared of it. And it's okay. All right. Create art. So either creating art as in art itself, or getting into other types of artistry. And then, hold on if I can grab it. Connect with the earth. So maybe, maybe traveling would be therapeutic for you. Get to know different cultures and study a new language, because that's what the Page of Swords could signify too. But most importantly, Jimin, please make sure that you take care of yourself and honor your childhood, or not your childhood, but your inner child. You two are a team. And also, this is something that I want to share with you and others as well. Our inner child has been there and done that. With every person that has hurt you as a child, even though you might have been children yourself, like your bully was a child and was like, oh, you're ugly, or you're this and this and this, you will never forget that. But you grew up and you've got a thick skin because of it. You have a callus. And technically, if you want to reverse the roles, your inner child is an OG. They're old school. You are brand new because you are this new age. So even though it would make more sense for them to be a child, no. They are an OG because they've been there, done that. So they have a lot more wisdom than what you have right now. So please make sure that you two join hands and listen to your higher self. Listen to your inner child. Because he or she knows exactly what they're talking about. And they're definitely going to lead you down a path where you need to be. They will help you to see people for who they are and give you that peace of mind that you rightfully deserve. And so for everyone that is struggling with some things, I want to commend you and tell you that I'm very proud of you for standing strong. And please do not give up. Same thing goes for you too, Jimin. I'm very proud of you for speaking your truth and sharing your album with us. That really means a lot to me and those that truly care for you. Okay? So that's all that I have. I really hope that you found peace while I did this reading. Some of y'all might think that, oh, this was just your way of trying, whatever. You can say whatever you want. But though I don't know this human being, he plays a role in my life. He inspired me to do a lot of things. So I have that right to honor him, just like I have the right to honor anybody that I choose to, because this is my channel, so Nana Nana Boo Boo. All right, so thank you so much for taking time to watch this video, and I want you to remember this. When life gives you lemons, always keep it zesty. Take care, everyone. Bye.